growing my stock portfolio to $1 million. So right now my 1,528 investment into American Airline call options is down 31.94%. Basically, I'm down $488 on this position so far. And how did American Airlines do, right, on Friday? Basically, American Airlines broke the 9-day moving average. It looks like it's having trouble maintaining itself above the 9-day moving average. And so what's next, right? I personally feel like American Airlines has to use the 20-day moving average as support. Once American Airlines bounces off the 20-day moving average, I personally feel like we could see a continuation towards the uptrend for American Airlines. Now if we decide to go back below the 50-day moving average, I've honestly lost all hope of what would happen with American Airlines if that does happen. But if American Airlines can maintain itself on the 20-day moving average, or bounce off the 20-day moving average, then I personally feel like confident in the trade. But I feel like if we break the 50-day moving average, I feel like American Airlines is going to have like a lot of trouble continuing towards the uptrend. But look at it on the weekly chart, you can see that it's above the 9-day moving average. So I feel like on the weekly chart we have to break the 20-day moving average next, and once we're above the 20-day moving average, then I possibly feel like American Airlines could bounce off the 20-day moving average and see a further continuation towards the uptrend for American Airlines. And my personal price target for American Airlines to reach by the end of this year is $13, if not $14, if I'm feeling really confident. And how did the market do overall on Friday? Market did pretty well, somewhat. You can see that, what is it? SPY right now, it looks like it's approaching its all-time high of 565.16. And so I personally feel like the resistance level that we have to break is around the 563 or 564 area. Once we break above those two, I guess when we break around that resistance area, then I feel like we could approach SPY's all-time high of 565.16, and maybe we could see an new all-time high for SPY. And then I talked about what stock would I've chosen out of the Magnificent Seven, and I chose Google. The reason I chose Google was because I felt personally it was way oversold, and the number two reason is because I saw that Google was approaching the 180-day moving average and the 200-day moving average, right? And so what did that mean for me, right? Basically that meant for me like, okay, if Google lands on the 180-day moving average, I'm going to enter into a position there, right? And then once Google breaks the 180-day moving average, I'm going to calmly wait and see if Google can approach the 200-day moving average. And then, I would enter into a position there, right? And so what happened is that you can see like these three candles right here used the 180-day moving average until like 9/6. It completely shattered the 200-day moving average. But looking at it on the weekly chart, you can see that Google was using the 50-day moving average as support in a way. So I personally feel like if you had looked at Google on the long term, right, over the long term, like for example the weekly chart, I personally felt like using entering into a position around the 50-day moving average is pretty good. The 50-day moving average reads 152.64. So 152.64 is not actually a very bad spot to get into Google. So for the people that did get into Google when Google approached the 50-day moving average on the weekly chart, good job, because obviously I feel like moving averages are somewhat helpful in the way. I feel like Support and resistance levels are okay too, right? But I personally like to play in my option, right? I like to play the moving averages, more. I don't like, support and resistance that much. So, and then I've been testing this strategy where, like I've mentioned before, right? Basically, the number one thing that you have to do is, number one, you have to look for a oversold mega cap stock, right? And then step number two is to look for certain support and resistance levels, or you can use, the moving averages, whatever your strategy is, right? And so step number three is, okay, now that you've done your analysis on that, certain oversold mega cap stock, enter into a position and sell out as soon as possible as that certain, position is up, up 10% or whatever your desired price percent target is, right? But me personally, what I've been experimenting is that this experiment, I've back tested it with 4 stocks already, and basically my percentage goal is that when a stock is up at least 10 or 15%, I instantly sell out, and basically I just try to play it safe because I don't want to be like, okay, I'm up like 30%, I'm gonna wait until it gets to, it's up 50%. No, I'd rather play it safe, and I kind of want to back test this strategy a little bit further, right? Because I'm doing it with American Airlines, right? American Airlines was more like of a YOLO trade in a way, but once I make my money back from whatever American Airlines decides to do, I'll definitely try to apply this to my real account, because I personally feel like if it's worked already, well, this is the 5th time right now talking about Google. Like, if it's worked 5 times already, then I personally feel like this is a really, really good, good strategy. Basically, number 1, buy an oversold mega cap stock. Step number 2, do your own technical analysis on the stock. Step number 3, enter into a position, whether it be, buying stock or trading options on it. And then step number 4, I think. Yeah, I don't know. But step number 4 is basically, once you're into that position, exit out of that position as soon as it approaches a positive return of 10 or 10%, basically. That's for me. But whatever your desired percent return is, exit as soon as it, as your position is up that certain percentage. But me personally, I've been back testing it with exiting out of these positions as soon as the position is up 10 or 15%. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Basically, the position of American Airlines is down $488. So as always, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, and if you guys want to look for oversold mega cap stocks, use this website called Finviz. But as always, none of this is financial advice, so do your own research. Be careful when you do when you start in the stock market. But I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, take care and bye.